Hey everyone! We are back to recap episode 222.
Spooky Adventure! Bum bum! The exposition of what was going to happen in this episode with Mike and Britt was awesome. Like, I loved the first, I don't know, whatever it was, minute and a half of them just like rapid fire back and forth. It was so cute.
It was a very long intro. Normally we have quite a short intro. This one was pretty long.
When we talked to Brittany, she said that one of the things she likes most about Mike is that he has a great sense of adventure. And so that's something that she really enjoys about him. So they're going to go explore the campus tunnels.
And it's not allowed.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Which is what makes it so much fun, because I think you're just as scared of getting caught as you are of, like, finding whatever it is that's supposed to be down there. Gopher wants Abby to come, but she won't come. What made me so sad was that they all, like, went down the hallway, and she, like, came out of the doorway, and it looked like she was almost gonna go, and then she went back into her room, and I was like, oh, dang it.
Yeah, she looked away so longingly, like she did desperately want to go.
Yeah.
The reason is because she probably didn't want what was about
to happen.
The arrival of
Elijah Jefferson, son of Jeffer.
Son of Jeffer.
Who I'm already not a fan of, just because he's Abby's fiance, and I don't want them to get married.
He was kind of a creeper, talking about people's risks all the time.
Well, and that's like part of their culture. If you watch the webcam with Britt and Abby, she was sharing some ways to handle relationships, and one was never flaunt your risks. Different cultures have different things that they find attractive. So for this culture, small risks are like a turn on, apparently. It made me sad, too, because we've seen how much of a relationship Abby and Gopher have been able to... They've been really forming a really good friendship and a deep bond. Even when she doesn't really say anything out loud, he has been able to find out a lot of things about her. And this guy was, like, sitting there with her, and, like, she would nod her head when he asked her a yes or no question, and he'd be like, what? What are you saying? It was like he didn't really try to understand Abby. I was kind of expecting, like... Abby's silence to be more of a cultural thing than just something that was her own personality. So I was surprised that he was kind of like, he didn't seem to understand why she wouldn't say anything. He wasn't used to people being quiet.
Unless, women are not supposed to talk except in the company of their, spouse or whatever. And maybe this was the first time that she had been introduced to him, so maybe she still is just not comfortable with the fact that she is allowed to speak her mind now. I think it's more cultural than you do.
So Lacey is in the triple, and she's being disgusting, and she leaves to go to the bathroom, and Danny B is like, let's go now, because I do not want her to come with us. I just want to hang out with my friends. And so they decide that he should write her a note, and they should just ditch. And what I think is interesting is she sees right through that. Like, she knows why he left. It didn't have to do with him having pink eye. She knew that he was lying and that he just wanted to be with his friends. What's scary is that while she understands that he needs space to be with his friends, it's like she still won't back off.
She was weirding me out as well this episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and like smelling his computer because it smelled of him. Ugh. We were talking about Marshall being really scared, and I love that he went. And I know that it was more because he wanted to prove that he wasn't scared. But at the same time, he could have not allowed them to go. So I thought it was cool. Like, we've seen a lot of Marshall being really just, like, a terrible person in the last few episodes. And I think more during the beginning of the season, we were seeing him kind of bonding with the floor. And it was good to see him do something that was kind of a bonding experience with the floor again.
Shane was really scared. And who was his... friend this whole week?
Marshall.
It was Marshall.
Because,
Marshall started to go up the steps, back up the stairs, and it was Shane that pulled him back down.
And Steph couldn't go because she was in a wheelchair.
I love Courtney's line, well, someone get this chair out of my way. Steph decided that she would still go, but she would just be their lookout, which I thought was very nice of her. Josh took that opportunity to have everyone together to ask them what they thought of his documentary.
Yeah.
And, they responded the way that you would expect him to. Oh, it was good. I thought it was fine. And I think he was looking for more of an honest reaction from
Yeah.
him. He knew it was bad.
Yeah. Steph, which we've seen a new attitude from Steph because she's going to be more honest and straightforward now, was the only one who really gave him an honest opinion. And she said that it was a little heavy-handed. And she gave it 2.5 Steph stars, which is not very good on her scale. So they finally solved the mystery of the tunnels. And apparently there's just a bunch of dead dogs down there, which is really sad. Like,
can you think of anything that is more sad than that? And still not, like...
And not totally, like...
Surprise.
Right. So they're all really bummed because it ended up being this really depressing end. And then, on top of that, they come upstairs and Abigail is coming down the hallway with her fiancé, Elijah, and they're throwing bread. And I just, like, my heart just broke for Gopher because he was just like, oh no. Because he knew what it meant. He learned all about their culture, and so he knew that the bread meant that her fiancé had arrived and everything. Oh no, what's going to happen? And I just was like, I can't wait for next week. And I kind of want to see Gopher fight this dude. Abby might not like that. And the guy has like a gun. Did you notice that? He just walks into the door with this huge, like, rifle or musket or whatever it was. Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yep.
Okay, thumbs up.
My thumbs up this week goes to Mike because I really like the way that he was sort of boosting up Josh and saying, don't think too much about the documentary right now, just kind of enjoy this moment you have right now, just kind of live in the moment, which is really great advice to live your life in general. Mike continues to give really good advice.
My thumbs up may be a little bit of a surprise this week, but my thumbs up is actually going to go to Marshall. I'm really glad that he went on the tunnel excursion with everybody else. I know he was scared. I know he probably just did it to prove that he wasn't scared. But like I said before, he also could have not let them go because it was against the rules. Being somebody who is a scaredy cat, like I do not like to do scary things, and it takes a lot for someone to talk me into, you know, doing something like that. You know, I really admire him being gutsy enough to go on the adventure with everybody else. Okay, thumbs down.
I think my thumbs down this week is going to Josh. It was just it just seemed so weird to me that they got down into the tunnel, they were ready to go on the adventure, and he just said, hey, what did you guys think of my video? You know, it's just not the right place. It just seemed like really inappropriate. Just kind of put them in an awkward situation where they all had to respond with a few perfunctory answers, and it was just really not cool.
My thumbs down this week is going to be for Danny B, because we saw him, you know, really struggling with this relationship with Lacey and that she's really overbearing and doesn't give him any space. And it looks like he could have just been upfront with her, even if he was scared to, which I can understand why he was scared to, because she's crazy. He needs to be honest and straightforward with her instead of run away. Because, honestly, like, as crazy as she is, that's not fair to her. But I don't think he's doing himself any favors by just trying to elude her. Okay, who to watch?
My who to watch for next week, obviously, no-brainer, Abigail Brown. What is she going to do?
And to go along with that, my who to watch is going to be Gopher. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to handle whatever happens next week, whatever transpired after Abigail started throwing bread.
And now it's time for this week's
Thing to consider. If you could give Danny B some advice about how to handle his relationship with Lacey, what would you tell him to do?
Very interesting. Type your comments and your responses in the space below. We look forward to reading them, and we'll pass them along to Danny B. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.